Imagine you step outside and see a bunch of skeletons riding bicycles or wearing big fancy hats. Would you giggle or would you be surprised? Maybe a bit of both. I bet you'd be super curious, just like me. Hi, I'm Lauren, and today we're going to dive into the amazing world of special skeletons called Calaveras, made by the talented Mexican artist José Guadalupe Posada. He made these cool pictures for Dia de los Muertos, or Day of the Dead. Let's find out more. Posada was born in 1852, and he always loved art. As he grew up, Posada attended art school and learned how to make beautiful pictures using different printmaking techniques. What's cool about printmaking is that you can make lots of copies of your picture. In Posada's time, not everyone agreed with the Mexican government. Posada decided to use his art to speak out. He made pictures that poked fun at people, even famous people. He had to move a few times because people weren't always happy with his art. But by 1892, he moved to the big capital, Mexico City, and started working with another man named Don Antonio Venegas Arroyo. Together, they made lots of pictures that told stories about what was happening in their world. Posada's cartoons appeared in newspapers and broadsides, which are just large sheets of paper printed on one side like posters. And Posada was really good at making pictures. He made more than 20,000 in his lifetime. But what's amazing is that even people who couldn't read could understand them. They told stories about everything from floods and storms to funny things regular people did. Posada's pictures weren't like the fancy paintings or sculptures that some people liked at this time. He didn't try to make Mexico look great or have rich people pay him for his work. Instead, he made art for everyday folks, and his pictures were affordable. They sometimes showed what life was like for folks who didn't have that much. He made pictures that showed how life could be tough, but also how funny and strong and resilient people could be in the face of problems. But Posada is most famous for his funny skeleton characters called Calaveras. The word calavera means skull in Spanish. Posada drew his skeletons doing all the things that regular people could do, like riding bikes and wearing hats. He also used them to make jokes about important people like politicians. You can think of them like the political cartoons we have today. They even became a part of the Day of the Dead celebrations in Mexico. The Day of the Dead is a special day on November 2nd when Mexican people remember their loved ones who have passed away. They visit cemeteries and offer food, drinks, flowers, and other things to their loved ones who have passed on. They also make altars at home with food and other things their loved ones like. They believe that the loved ones who have passed on are still nearby. Posada's skeleton pictures helped people smile even when thinking about death. The pictures like the one with the bicyclists often came with poems that made fun of the living. In the bicycle one, Posada joked about people being obsessed with progress in the late 1800s. It said, "Calaveras of cyclists, sportsmen and aviators bold, of motorists young and tram drivers old, stand clear, make way for the messengers of doom. They spare none they encounter, so leave them plenty of room." And then it goes on. "The brakes have failed, they're out of control, and death is waiting to take its toll. But they'll be back next year, mercilessly running down all who come near." The most famous picture Posada made is called La Catrina. She's a fancy skeleton lady with a big smile who wears a large hat decorated with feathers, flowers, and lace. She even has tassels attached to her skull. Look at how Posada used black ink to make the skull stand out below the hat, and how he created texture and visual interest using something called cross-hatching, which is making two sets of parallel lines that intersect with one another. The picture pokes fun at people who went about dressed up in things like corsets and high heels on the streets. The woman in La Catrina has supposedly forgotten her Mexican roots and has decided to dress like a European dandy. When Posada made this cartoon sometime between 1910 and 1913, he was ridiculing then-President Porfirio Díaz's keen interest in European high society stuff. The Mexican Revolution would begin in 1910 because many people were so upset about how things were. Posada's image of La Catrina became really famous in Mexico, especially when the painter Diego Rivera put her in his big mural, Dream of a Sunday Afternoon in the Alameda, in 1947. She's even shown linking arms with a young Diego Rivera, and on the other side is Posada himself. All of Posada's Calaveras remind us that everyone eventually passes on. It's not supposed to be morbid or scary, but really to remind us to live our lives to the fullest. So adventurers, José Guadalupe Posada was an amazing artist who used his art to tell stories, bring a smile to people's faces, and remind us that even when life is tough, there's a lot of joy to be found. Art can be a powerful way to express our thoughts and feelings about the world around us, just like Posada did with his pictures.